Welcome to Stories and Songs by Afterglow Music. My name is Joel McCausland.
And I'm Kevin Peay, and we've been creating music for a long time.
We'd like to tell you the stories behind our songs. Kev, let's talk about a song you wrote many, many years ago called You're My Friend, when we first started getting into some kind of alternative, popular love song type material.
Oh, that's been a long time.
Gosh, when did we release that album? In 87, was it?
I think it was sometime around there. It might have been a little bit before, but it was shortly after Greatest Gift. Let's listen to a little bit of it right now.
The life that we live is a life where we grow. We're holding on to each other's hand, learning how to be a friend, learning how to understand. When I stumble and fall, it's you after all that's running just as fast as you can to pick me up and help me to stand and help me start all over again. You're my friend.
The power of friendship is a real deal. We wrote a number of songs during that time that were around love. And friendship really is love. And I thought to myself, you need to write something that just speaks about friendship.
Because most of the songs on this album were more romantic love, which was kind of a departure for us anyway at that point.
Yeah, and not only was I thinking about connecting with people and thinking back on how friends really make a very powerful difference in our lives. And then as you meet new people, and as I met Cindy, she became a very close friend. Mm-hmm. And then that turned into something very special for us. You and I had a strong friendship.
Long-time connection.
And it's interesting how friends just seem to lift us and create an anchor as well. Just like the Savior creates the anchor. Boy, I'll tell you what, if you don't have a good friend or friends that you can confide in and have a wonderful discussion with and share ideas with, then it's kind of lonely.
That's really true. I was thinking about that too. You and I've had occasion to see each other often. We live 10 miles apart, basically, and have done for 30 plus years, And that friendship has been enduring and kind of surprising to some people, right? Because a lot of times when you get together in an effort like we've been doing with music, sometimes those things don't last. And we've been lucky that way. And I think about some of our other friends who we may not see for a long time. And yet it's that connection that endures. And it's just an immediate thing where those feelings come right back. You're just connected to somebody and you think, wow, I'm so glad to see them. And you haven't thought of them for a while, but I think that's a powerful part of friendship for me, is that when it's really a great friendship, it stays. Even if you're not going out to dinner together or doing other things together all the time, they endure.
And whatever we walk through this life, it's interesting whether it's a corridor of a hospital hall, or whether it's somebody at work, or whether it's somebody off the street that we've engaged in conversation. It's always fun to be able, at the end of those conversations, to hear, I've made a new friend. Mm-hmm. And that becomes changing for each of us. John talked about this in John 15:13. Greater love hath no man than this, than a man lay down his life for his friends. And I'm not sure what the true definition of that. I'm not taking that as you have to die for your friends, although
not
you
necessarily.
could.
That could be one aspect of it, sure.
You could, but that means in my mind that you come outside yourself and that you look through the window at others versus looking at the mirror at yourself all the time. And this is a little bit about what this song is.
The Savior refers, and he kind of does it there in John, but Savior refers to us as his friends. The people that are his disciples, he refers to as friends. And I think about even our kind of recent connection with the Utah Layton Mission. We had a chance to be there for a while and working with especially the service missionaries. And it's funny, I'll tell Diana pretty often, like we'll see a wedding announcement. We'll see one of these young sisters or elders who's gone home, who's finished their service, and something else has happened in their lives. And of course, the way things are set up now, you make a lot of, quote, Facebook friends among your missionaries, because that's one of the ways that they do their work. And so we're Facebook friends with all these missionaries. And so it's like a thrill to me. Like, I know them as service missionaries. That's all I know them as. And then they go home and suddenly we're seeing wedding announcements and heading off to college and getting a new job. And it's kind of cool because I think in that way, even though we're 50 years apart, the friendship is about what we were involved in together. And that's a pretty cool thing.
So Webster defines it as a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection. And I've always thought to myself, well, how do you develop that? What's the skill set around developing friendship? And I think in my mind, it is really asking more questions than it is telling people about yourself.
Right.
It's getting to know someone and then over time asking those questions, hoping to gain trust. And when you do that type of an analysis, or if you do it naturally, or if you just try based upon who you are and what you do and who you run into, those questions can be life-changing when you get to know somebody. I was recently in a hospital room, and when we finished in the hospital room, that person looked up to me and just simply said, "You know what? Thank you, because I now have a new friend," which is interesting because I'll probably never see that person again.
Right. Good chance that that's one and done, right? The connection is whatever you had at that moment.
But it's the feeling of friendship, and some of them sustain for a long time based upon who we meet and where we go. But there's some lifelong friendships that are created as well.
You know what's interesting? I was thinking about this last time we had our class reunion. We grew up in Pleasant Grove, Utah, in a at the time, fairly small town. It's not so small anymore. And the school was small. Our graduating class was just 240 or so, I think. And I remember thinking when I was in high school that I knew everybody.
I'm glad you know that number.
Somewhere in that ballpark.
248 to be exact.
Was that what it was? Yeah.
You're
I knew
good.
it was pretty close to that. And I remember thinking that I knew everybody in our class. The passage of time has proved to me that I didn't, but there are people that I run into that were in our class that I don't remember them. But one thing that's been kind of cool, because when you're in high school, you have your friends, the people you hang out with, the things you do, and that's great. And some of those last, and some of them don't. But one of the things that's been so great about when we get back together with that group is that it feels like just about everybody in the room is your friend.
Yeah.
The shared experience, the memories that you have are things you can share. And even if you weren't part of a group, part of that clique or that group at the time, the friendship still feels real and legitimate. And that's a cool thing too.
And I know that there are people who feel like they don't have any friends. And that's hard. And so the question for us is can we identify somebody that it's in our circle of influence or somebody that we meet that we can really become a friend when circumstances in their worlds look like they don't have any friends. So how do we make those steps towards that and being kind and being loving and, like I said, ask those questions in regards to getting to know people and truly showing that they're cared for. We took this song and we actually recorded it in Portuguese.
Yeah, made it a part of that tour down to Brazil that we did. And
Yeah. And it's interesting because it's been life-changing for me to meet some of the people we have met, not only in Japan, in Brazil, in England.
around the country here, all over the place.
And one of them that you know very, very well, that the power of friendship still lingers today, is Nobuaki Irie.
Yeah, from Japan. What a great friend he's been. He's just a guy who not only has he helped us on a number of occasions, helped translate and guide us through the Japanese recording, but he kind of helped set up the tours we did there, and just really has been a great connection for us.
And it's fun to watch the exchange that happens even in Facebook now from what he's doing in Japan, cheering us on,
Right.
and us cheering him on. I think of all the wonderful friends that I've made over the course of time in different walks of life, from missionary service and the friendships that still continue on. And some of those are so far away in geographical terms, but yet there's now an avenue to keep it going. And we talked a little bit about what are the steps to do that. Mm-hmm. And I love the opportunity to message somebody through Facebook if that's the only place that I can find them, and let them know that I'm thinking about them. And I think we had prophets actually tell us during that whole COVID experience in regards to sending out a message.
Let's do what we can, right, at any given moment.
And let people know that they're loved and they're cared for. And that will take on a whole new experience if we'll just follow through with those exchanges and do it in a very kind and a gentle way.
That's kind of an interesting thing. We hear about, we talk about some of the downside of social media and that technology, and certainly there are some dangers and things you got to be careful of. But I agree with you. It ties us together in a way that's kind of not been possible in the past. Even this is a silly thing, but every day on my social media, it pops up and says, this person and 10 other people have a birthday today. And some of those people I know well. Some of them I haven't seen for years and years. Some of them I only know a little bit, or they're, quote, just Facebook friends. But it's an opportunity to say, could I connect with that person today? It's an experience, or an excuse even almost, to say, let me say hi to him. Let me wish him a happy birthday. And that may not be the deepest, most rich friendships in our lives in some cases, but I do think people appreciate and like the connection. And that's one way we can use it, and I think a pretty positive way.
And I think the power of looking out through that window is just finding a way to simply take those steps to let people know that they're appreciated and loved.
Yep.
So any time that we can experience the power of friendship and reach out to others, maybe this song will help somebody think about the friends they have in their life and how they can continue to reach out and build and lift so that we can eventually go home together and see the face of our Savior, Jesus Christ.
The life that we live is a life where we grow. We're holding on to each other's hand, learning how to be a friend, learning how to understand. When I stumble and fall, it's you after all that's running just as fast as you can to pick me up and help me to stand and help me start all over again. You're my friend, helping me walk down this road, and you make it easy when you help me carry my load. When I need a shoulder to lean on at times, rain or shine, you're always there. You're a friend who's always helping, holding out your hand to share. Whenever the storm was dark, the rainbow was right behind. You helped me to see that this life could be the greatest thing I could find. Now I see and understand that we're just not to be alone. So hold on to me, I'll hold on to you as we walk this road back home. You're my friend, helping me walk down this road, and you make it easy when you help me carry my load. When I need a shoulder to lean on at times, rain or shine, you're always there. You're a friend who's always helping, holding out your hand to share. If ever you feel that your heart is empty and you're wondering what is the answer, just give a little love, 'cause everybody needs someone to believe in and hold on to. You're my friend, make it easy when you help me carry my load. When I need a shoulder to lean on at times, rain or shine, you're always there. You're a friend who's always helping, holding out your hand. A friend who's always helping me to understand. We're all in need of someone. Everybody needs a friend. We're all in need of someone. Everybody needs a friend.